In this video, we're going to be talking about stocks that investors simply cannot stop debating about. And the stocks that I'm going to be covering, as shown in the thumbnail, guys, are none other than what you see on the screen right now. Shout out to Prophecy, Palantir, and the other four will be covering Redwire, BBAI, Castellum, and SEALSQ. And if you spend any time on social media, that being YouTube, X, Reddit, or Discord, you've probably seen investors arguing about these companies almost every day. Some more than others because some already have more mainstream media attention, because you're going to see a lot more talk for Palantir compared to Castellum CTM. As me and you both know, one is much larger cap, has more coverage. The other one, not at the same scale yet. Again, maybe, who knows? We'll see what the market cap will be for Castellum CTM in the next 10 years. But some investors believe Palantir is one of the most important AI companies in the world. Others believe Redwire could become a major defense and aerospace winner. And some investors are loading up on smaller companies like Castellum CTM, SEALSQ, and BBAI because they believe the upside is definitely worth any downside risk associated with those stocks. And at the same time, critics argue many of these smaller companies are highly speculative. They face a lot of execution risks, and they may not live up to the expectations of investors. So the question that you need to be asking, who's on the right side of the fence? And the answer is probably somewhere in the middle if I was to take my best educated guess, because what I want to cover is I'm not making this video to tell you what to do with your capital and tell you whether to buy or sell any companies that I'm going to be mentioning. I'm not saying that any of these stocks are guaranteed winners either, to make that very clear. Again, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Instead, I want to give you a brief overview of each company and explain why investors are either bullish on some of these stocks or bearish. So first off, talking about Palantir, they developed software platforms used by governments. They also developed military organizations, they develop software platforms that are used by governments, and they're also used by military organizations, intelligence agencies, and commercial businesses to analyze massive amounts of data and improve decision making. And this is most well known. Its most well-known platform includes Gotham, Foundry, and its rapidly growing artificial intelligence platform, which is also known as AIP. And why investors are bullish on Palantir is because investors in Palantir are pretty straightforward on their bullish thesis. The company continues to deliver strong revenue growth while remaining profitable, and it has deep relationships throughout the United States government, intelligence community, and the defense sector. And many investors believe Palantir is one of the few companies successfully monetizing artificial intelligence at scale today. And the company also maintains a strong balance sheet, strong cash reserves, and it has no major debt concerns at this time. And supporters, they argue that Palantir is becoming critical infrastructure for both government and enterprise AI applications. And on the flip side, why investors or shareholders of Palantir, whether if you're a shareholder right now or just an investor looking from the outside, the biggest concern is regarding valuation, because even after recent volatility, Palantir still trades at a premium multiple compared to many other software companies. Critics argue that the market may already be pricing in years of future success, and others point to stock-based compensation and dilution concerns. And for many bears, the issue isn't whether Palantir is a good company. The issue is whether the stock is simply too expensive right now. The next stock that I wanted to cover is none other than Redwire. And again, guys, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, as I appreciate the support. But Redwire It operates in aerospace, space infrastructure, defense technology, autonomous systems, and satellite technologies, as we've discussed numerous times in the other videos we've talked regarding Redwire. The company, it has evolved significantly over the past few years, and it's expanded beyond its original space-focused business. And Redwire recently reported approximately 58% year-over-year revenue growth, and it continues building a substantial contract backlog. And according to recent reports, backlog has approached to nearly a staggering number of $498 million. And gross margins has also improved significantly from approximately 14.7% all the way to as much as 26.6%. And the company's acquisition of Edge Autonomy also gave Redwire exposure to military drone technology, also to autonomous systems and defense applications. And supporters, they believe Redwire is transforming into a diversified aerospace and defense technology company rather than just a simple space stock. And many investors, they view the company as a direct beneficiary of increasing defense spending and growing interest in autonomous systems. And then taking a look again at the bear side of things, the reasons that people are bearish on Redwire is because the concerns primarily revolve around profitability and dilution. Despite massive growth, Redwire continues posting losses. Quick reminder before we continue, if you're enjoying the content and want to connect with the community, check out the first link below for the free InvestQ community. And if you want access to advanced stock research and tools, the second link is a Prophecy 7-day trial for just $7. And last, if you want daily market updates and behind the scenes content, follow me on Instagram using the third link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. Investors have also discussed how Redwire has recently announced $500 million at the market facility. And at the market doesn't necessarily mean all those shares will immediately be released or immediately be issued. However, it does create concerns about future dilution and can weigh in on investor sentiment. And bears, they argue that Redwire still needs to prove it can translate strong revenue growth into sustainable profitability. That's how people feel about the stock Redwire. Now, moving over to BBAI. BBAI focuses on artificial intelligence, machine learning, predictive analytics, and decision intelligence solutions primarily serving government and defense customers. And supporters, they believe that BBAI is positioned to benefit from growing government demand for artificial intelligence capabilities. And the company continues expanding its role in national security and defense-related AI applications. And many investors, they point to the improving financial performance, their expanding backlog, and increasing awareness around surrounding AI technologies. And supporters argue that the market may be underestimating the long-term opportunity for AI adoption within defense and within government agencies. And again, we're talking about the bull and bear case for each of these stocks. On the flip side, the bear case centers around scale and execution, and BBAI remains much smaller than many of the larger companies competing for government AI spending. And investors also remain cautious about potential dilution following shareholder approval of a significant increase in authorized shares. And while many investors they see the substantial upside potential, others view the stock as one of the riskier AI investments in the market right now. Next, regarding a stock we've talked about numerous times, and that's CTM, Castellum. Castellum is a cybersecurity and government services company focused on supporting federal agencies and defense customers through a collection of specialized subsidiaries. Now, the bullish thesis for Castellum CTM is simple, Investors have been researching coal risk consulting and its work supporting Paratone on a major government programs. And you can see all this in some due diligence that was done by the creator of the Castellum CTM Discord. But where I'm stating here was posted right here on, let me see, yeah, on June 16th, where in the investor community, we have identified more than $131 million in funding obligations associated with work connected to none other than Paratone Labs. And it's important to understand that this is not the same thing as Castellum CTM announcing a new $131 million contract award. However, investors believe it demonstrates the scale of program Castellum subsidiaries may be participating in. And also, I believe it was today or yesterday. Additionally, Specialty Systems was reported a $4 million subcontract through SAIC, Science Application International Corporation. And supporters believe Castellum's growing collection of cybersecurity and government contracting businesses could create substantial upside if management continues executing its acquisition strategy. Now, the bear case is very simple. Castellum remains a very small company compared to the other larger defense contractors. The company, it still needs to prove it can consistently improve margins, increase profitability, and successfully integrate acquisitions. Like many microcap stocks, volatility can be very extreme, and investors, they should expect significant price swings in either direction. And last but not least, the company that we will be talking about is a quantum company, none other than LAES, also known as SEALSQ. And SEALSQ focuses on cybersecurity, semiconductors, secure microcontrollers, IoT security solutions, post-quantum cryptography, and investments tied to emerging quantum technologies. And the bullish case for this stock, plain and simple, is that many investors believe quantum computing could eventually create massive security challenges for existing encryption systems. And SEALSQ is trying to positioning itself to benefit from that transition through post-quantum security solutions. And the company has also expanded through acquisitions and strategic investments, including exposure to quantum computing technologies. And the supporters also believe that management is building a broader ecosystem that could benefit from future growth across cybersecurity and quantum-related industries. And why investors are bearish on the stock on the flip side is because the concerns are also clear as well. They're as clear as the bulls. The company is highly speculative. Many investors remained concerned about dilution, the historical capital raises, and insider selling in the stock. And critics argue that the company still needs to demonstrate that its acquisitions and investments can generate meaningful long-term shareholder value. And as with many emerging technology companies, execution will ultimately determine whether the bullish thesis plays out. So, when you look at the 5 companies, what is it that you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below what it is you think about the 5 stocks: Palantir, Redwire, LAES, CTM, and BBAI. And also, if you did feel I added any value to your investing journey, please let me know in the comment section. And also, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, as I do appreciate the support from you guys. But with that being said, Dave with InvestQ out. Stay safe, keep making good decisions in your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.